So the plan for this video is to share 2 of the key principles to your long-term success. We're gonna hit on 3 quick stories that show how these planning principles apply to key concepts like cash flow management, taxes, and investing. We're gonna look at 2 people with the same income so we can see why these principles can be so meaningful. And then I'm gonna quickly go over my clear planning process that we use with our clients to implement these principles. A call I had the other day perfectly summarizes principle number 1. On the call, the prospect explained that they wanted to hire a financial advisor for years, but they kept delaying, waiting on the next job, the next pay raise, to collect more information or data to make decisions, wait for their child to be born, then go off to school, until they finally realized that there's always going to be something to wait for. And that if they were being honest with themselves, they were not where they wanted to be financially. So instead of waiting, it was time to act. So in their intake questionnaire, they wrote down one of my company's core philosophies: to be proactive, not reactive. That's the first core principle that I want to instill by the end of this video. And one of the most proactive things that you can do is learning how to focus on what matters to you and what's in your control, which is principle number 2. There's an endless list of things that are outside of your control, an even smaller list of the things that are inside of your control, and even a shorter list on things that you should control. Think of it like a Venn diagram and practice focusing on the overlap between what matters and what's in your control. With that lens on, let's look at a comparison between 2 different people with the same incomes that are making different choices and will likely end up in very different situations. So imagine 2 people earning $150,000 a year in annual income, living in the same city, paying the same rent. One feels broke and anxious, the other is buying back time, gives generously, and doesn't sweat the price of eggs at the grocery store. The difference here is not luck, it's a proactive system that was developed using the principles I just shared. So imagine person A and person B, same income, same rent, similar lifestyle, same age. Person A is proactive. They sit down and develop a realistic spending plan with an automatic routing to savings, investing, and bill pay. Their additional monthly savings is routed to things like high yield savings, a brokerage account, retirement accounts. They conduct a 30-minute quarterly review to measure savings rates, adjust allocations, and make sure that they're balancing their lifestyle. Person B, they're reactive. They have the one checking account that their parents opened up for them years ago, and they use it for everything. They rarely look at their spending. Their goal is always to save what's left over at the end of the month, but they're rarely left with anything that's actually left over. They're always reading the media and worried about things like inflation or the value of the dollar, and makes manual transfers for things like rent or credit card payments. Who do you think is going to have more money left over monthly, and who's going to feel more confident and secure in their financial standing? By making proactive choices, taking actions that are within their control, like creating automations, I can tell you from personal experience working with hundreds of clients that person A almost always feels better, has more, can still do all the things that make life fun and fulfilling. So now let's apply the same scenario and principles to tax planning. Can we accurately predict future tax rates? No, but we can take proactive action now that gives us flexibility and options. So let's look at proactive person A. This person decides to hire tax planning help. They make purposeful decisions between putting dollars in Roth versus pre-tax, with the idea of reducing lifetime taxes and considering their future income rate. They coordinate asset allocation between various tax buckets to adjust for time horizon. Now let's look at person B, who's reactive. They accept the default employer setting for their retirement contributions, ignores Roth options, and really only focuses on reducing current year taxes, not lifetime taxes. They never adjust withholdings based in different life stages and are often surprised with a tax bill in April. Who do you think is going to pay less in taxes over their lifetime? The person making thoughtful contributions and taking a proactive approach to giving themselves more flexibility and options when it comes to tax planning, or the person drifting through life, allowing decisions to be made for them? The point here is not to predict, it's to prepare. Now let's look at how this can show up with your investments. Same type of person, same $150,000 of income, same capacity to save and invest in their future. Person A, the proactive one, they adjust their asset allocation based on goals like purchasing a home or retiring. After a little bit of education, they decide to use index funds for broad diversification and reduce fees so they don't have to spend tons of time researching individual stocks. They have a clear list of what goals are most important to them, and then on payday, they automate contributions that will help fund the goal that is most important first. first. This person understands that market downturns are part of their investment story and journey and proactively chooses investments that allow them to stay invested even when the market takes a big dip. So now let's look at person B, the reactive one. This person tends to chase trends or the hot stock pick of the day. They have no clear investment rules that they stick to. There's no time horizon or goals that they're investing for. They're simply trying to just make more money, treating investing a lot more like gambling than long-term investing. Constantly reacting to media headlines and scary news and getting sucked into short-term volatility scares. Who do you think has a better chance of long-term financial success? Asset allocation and your behavior are the primary drivers of results. Do not get distracted with all the noise that is out there. Plan for storms before they arise. They are on the horizon for all investors, period. To take meaningful action sooner, spend a few hours to create a spending plan and a money management system that is something you will actually follow. The way we do this with our clients is using the clear planning process. C, clarify and connect spending with goals. L, lay out your financial situation. E, evaluate then educate yourself on your current standing. A, take action by automating your plan in alignment with what's most important to you. And R, review and recalibrate your plan along the way because life will change and your plan should adapt with you. So if you stuck with me up until this point, you have two options. The first is DIY. Take the time to build your own purposeful system, map the flow, pick your tax buckets, take the time to automate, take the time to select your investment strategy and write rules that you can follow. Get clear on what's important to you based on family dynamics, values, and what long-term success means to you. Option number two, if you want to save yourself time, energy, and headache, book a free discovery call with us where we can identify where you're at right now, where you are going, and if there is room to support you further. It's an easy, actionable step that can help you move the needle forward fast. So same scenario, take the same two people, same $150,000 income. One person decides to book a call right away, the other decides to wait for later. Applying the principles you learned today, knowing that these are the results. These principles drive long-term success. Who are you going to rather be? Proactive person A or reactive person B? My main message for you today is to be proactive instead of reactive, to be able to focus on what matters and what's in your control. And the easiest thing to do to move the needle forward is to schedule a free discovery call. But if you're not ready yet, join my free school community where we provide checklists, additional education, and materials to help you move the needle forward on your own. Either way, take action today. I'll see you in the next video.